Why is that motherfucker not wanting to go? What? Right, go up. Keep going. Slowly. Slow. Slow. I think you're hitting this guy now. So I had to get that bolt lined up, that eccentric bolt. And I'll show you what happens when we move that eccentric bolt now, once we get a socket for this. So I want to kind of show you what happens with this eccentric bolt. Go ahead, turn that. All right, so see here. Just see how far this thing moves, this axle. So we're about 1 inch away there. If we go around, there's on the other side. That's about it right there. Looks like about 1/2 inch. Yeah, I'd say you're moving about 1/2 inch of travel overall. So, all right. So I double checked the other side. So this arrow is pointing toward this first little notch here on the other side. So I'm going to match that other side, and then we're going to double check everything before we have to weld this plate back on here and weld the nut on, capture nut on the other side. So the other side has, the nut that goes on there, and then this capture plate goes on there, and it's welded to make sure this doesn't, it's an anti-turn washer they call it. So before we weld that on, we'll check our alignment. So now we're just going to try to get this up in the back here and get these 2 big bolts through the carriage here, the axle carriage. Alright, so we're going to try to pick this guy up and line up the hole here. Hoping get it to line up, if you can see in there. It's going, I think. I have to do a little bit of alignment, looks like with the pry bar. It's not want to go anymore. Okay, let it down. Just picking up the whole axle. Let it down. Alright, ho, 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 ho. Let's try this 2x4. This is Shaco Vision, sorry. Try this 2x4 in here, see if that'll pick that up any further. Alright, come up. Slowly. Get that to come up anymore. Hold it, leave it there. Let go. Take it off. Let me have that big pry bar. So I'm just gonna stick a big pry bar in here and see if I can't get this to come. This whole axle needs to come forward. Or if somebody can hold this. Well, you need to be over here. Threads. I might need to pick that up. Well, I don't want to pick up. Let's see here. I want to pick up just the axle now. Pick it up. Going up. 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 That's good. There we go. Now she's scooting. Get to where you can see down that hole. See in there? able to get to where you... Now you're gonna be in my way. I'm gonna go from the other side so I don't booger up these threads.
You want me to continue looking?
Yes. So we're taking the weight off this jack stand. That's good. So I'm trying to line this hole up with the pry bar. That's what I want. Does not want to move. I have to give it a couple light taps with a sledge. Let me have the mini sledge. There she goes. Ooh, I think we're pretty darn close there. Give me that big bolt, one of those big bolts. Where's the tape measure? Just curious as to what size these are. I bet they're an inch, inch and a quarter, inch and an eighth maybe. Maybe inch and 3/8, inch and 5/16. Well, it might be inch and a half. It's pretty darn close to inch and a half. Guess the easier thing would be to measure this hole up here. Yeah, it's about an inch and a half. Give me a dead blow. Catching those threads now. Let me have that big ratchet and that 2 3/16. So these are 2 3/16 heads. I ended up having. I used a 2 1/4 to take it apart. I ended up buying a set with a correct size socket. Let's see if we can get it started. Best wrench in the world. Does it look like it's pulling in there, Jacob?
It's hard to tell.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think it is. It's going in.
We'll whiz it in the rest of the way with the impact. Just want to get it started so that way we can line up that other one. So got a ways to go on that one. Set this, set that axle back down. So right, we just lowered the axle down some off the jack stand and it allowed this to line up. So get this bolt started through there. Pull it out of the way for a second. Get that in there when we get this thing started. Look in that hole, Jacob, see if that's starting. Looks like it's pulling in.
No. There you go, you moved it forward.
Huh?
You moved it forward.
It's catching now. Feels like it.
Yes.
Alright. Alright, we'll run those in with the impact. Get my earplugs. Each of you get a set of earplugs and put them in. You're gonna be deaf. Put on this phaser to maximum stun. It's gonna be loud. All right, I got those snugged up. These are torqued to 1100 foot-pounds. So we might have to do some magic with the torque wrench and a torque multiplier. See how that works. Pick that back up, Jacob. All right. Down. All right. Whew.
That was a lot of work.
All right, so this is why we're fixing this. If you see that, see how the side of that shock has been rubbing up against the frame? I don't know if this side doesn't look like it's been hitting, but that side has moved enough you can see where it's hit the frame. Trying to get this washer off here.
There you go.
Just working this thing back and forth to break the top weld. Out there. There it goes. All right, that guy's off. Get that other socket. Get this nut off. Impact and that other socket. So I'm pulling this a little past, so that way it kind of pulls it in, and I pull it back to even it up and reduce that pooching.
A little more.
I'm gonna go a little more.
Or you're going really far enough.
Okay, that's fine. I also replaced this with a 3-inch coupling, and then this is the lube I'm using. It's a wire pulling lubricant, so it's safe for all. It's water based, won't hurt the rubber. Away. So we're going to pull this back to even it up. So I kind of over pull it to keep that pooching down. This 3-inch coupling fits a whole lot better, as you can see on this guy. So then we'll pull this back so it's evened up. That's probably good.
Yeah.
Gonna try that. All right, so we got both of the trailing arms back in, and I set these eccentrics about the same as where they were, and everything looks pretty good. We also have set up, you notice right here is my redneck laser alignment. So I have a piece of conduit across the back of the bus, and there's also one at the front, and I've measured that to the frame at the front and to the frame at the back, so I know it's square to the frame of the bus. So we also have it here. I just have it held on the front. There's one here on this side, so I can check the alignment. So what I did was, preliminarily, I'm just going to measure it to the drum, because I got to put these leveling jacks back in, so I can't really put the wheel back on to put those on. I could put it on temporarily, but I just went to both sides of this drum and squared it up, and we're pretty dang square, and everything looks pretty good. All right, so what I noticed is this pad that's welded on here, I'm going to try to show you, see how it's a little bit in from that, try to get my finger in here, from that bracket down there. I'm washing it out with my light, but yeah, that bracket right there, it's a little bit in from there, if you notice. And on the other side, it's pretty much lined up with it. So I think they actually welded it on a little crooked. I'll show you the other side here. All right, so we're on the other side here. Now, if you look, see where that bracket is and the edge of that pad, it's, you know, they're almost in a line there. So they actually welded these little brackets on slightly off. It's either that or the whole dang carriage is off. I don't know what they actually welded differently, but one of them's off, which is causing, I think, the other thing that this shock is a lot closer to this, or the other shock on the other side is a lot closer to the frame. So hopefully with these bushings though, it'll stop them from dragging. So that's about all we're going to do for today. We'll get the wheels on it throughout the week. I gotta weld those little capture plates on, the anti-turn washers they call them, these guys. I need to weld those on the back side. I may weld them, I may bolt them, I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to see figure out what I want to do there. So that'll be it for today. We'll do one more video. We'll put the wheels on and we'll show some of the alignment. We got to put those, like I said, put those leveling jacks back on. We only got about a half a day's, well, not even, probably 2 or 3 hours of work in today because of the weather, and the weather kind of, I ended up having a real bad headache today because this morning when I got up, I think because of the pressure change this morning, we had a front come through this morning. So yeah, we'll get the wheels back on and go back through and do an alignment. I did preliminary check the front, and I need to adjust the toe alignment on the front a little bit. It's not where it wants to be, but I want to get this whole thing aired up and on the bags to where it's sitting normally, and then we can check everything out from there. But that's going to be it for today. We'll get back on it probably next weekend. I might, if I get froggy during the week, I might do some of this, but we'll see. I have to bleep all this fucking bleepity bleep to bleep bleep. Alright, thanks for watching. If you want to be notified of future videos, please subscribe. And that's it. Until next time.